Have you ever heard of digital hygiene before? If you haven't, I'm going to tell you what it is in this episode. We're talking all about the importance of cleaning up your email lists. And there's three main reasons why it's important to clean up your lists. The top one is it's going to improve the deliverability of the emails you're already sending. It's going to save you money, and it's going to give you more accurate, reliable data to rely on as a business owner when you look to make decisions about your business and the direction you should be heading. On this journal style podcast, I share my day-to-day trials and triumphs in growing 2 e-commerce businesses that I started in 2020. Join me as I share from my kitchen table in Adelaide, Australia. Let's face it, navigating the small business world feels less daunting and less lonely when we share our experiences with someone else. If you're tired of being all the marketing roles in your business, or you just need more customers, I offer expert traffic support tailored to your business through Facebook and Instagram strategy support. Because our goals and our business growth and success needs us to be the driver of the steam train, not the one stoking the coals. Hey, this is Rachel from Aussie e-commerce Mum. Welcome. This is episode number 54, and we're going to talk about data today. In fact, we're talking about hygiene and data. Yes, those two words go together. Data and hygiene, a data cleanup. Now, when's the last time you thought about a hygienic clean of your data? I'm not talking about cleaning screens and keyboards. I'm talking about your email list, your customer relationship management system, your CRM. I'm talking about cleaning up your email lists. When's the last time you did this and went through your data and cleaned it up and got rid of stuff that was not there and wasting money and time and hurting your email deliverability, frankly? Because many people believe that more is better when it comes to an email list, but it's actually not. It's really not better. I want to tell you why I think that's the case. The first point I want to make is it's important to clean up your data in your emails, as in your email list, your newsletter list, your master list. It's important to clean this data up because it actually improves deliverability of your campaigns. So one of the primary reasons for cleaning up your email list is enhance engagement rates with your current emails you send, but also the deliverability of those emails. Emails that are sent to email addresses that are inactive or invalid, or people just delete them straight away and don't even open them or look at them, that actually hurts your reputation as the sender of that email, and it means it's more likely to be marked as spam. Do you know the high percentage of people that your emails just bounce or don't get opened or deleted? You run the risk of being classed, categorized as spam email. And how bad is that? Like, you put this time and effort into sending emails, and the people that you want to see them don't even see them, because the people that don't even care to see them are screwing it up for the rest of you. Like, all the customers and people you're sending emails to that don't even care that you're emailing them, means it impacts on the people who do want to see your emails and who do want to read them. So by regularly cleaning your list and removing inactive subscribers, which means suppressing them, when you suppress a subscriber, it's not deleted. So I'd encourage you not to delete these emails. You're just suppressing them. That means they don't receive anything from you, but they're still there. You still paid for that email address. You still got that lead through social media or whatever you did. So it's still yours. It's worth something to your business, but just suppress the email so it doesn't get anything when you email. So it's still there. You paid for it. It's your email address from a customer, but it's not going to muck with the deliverability of all your other emails that you put this time and effort into sending. Like, how bad is it to put this time and effort into sending an email to think that the deliverability has been compromised because you have far too many subscribers that you should be suppressing? Another reason why this is important, digital hygiene is important, is because of your return on investment and how much it costs you to send emails. If you have a bloated email list, you're spending a lot of money. That costs you a lot of money to have that email list and to send emails to people who aren't even opening them. How bad is that? Like, you don't want to spend money to send emails to people who don't even open the emails. And if you have an email service provider like Klaviyo, which I do and would recommend for anyone in e-commerce, it's by far the best one ever. It's so worth the money. Then I get charged based on the number of emails I send. And if I'm sending emails to a volume of people who don't even open them or care to see them or want to see them anymore but can't be bothered to unsubscribe, or who have never seen them because it went to spam and has never come out of spam, that's just a waste of money. Just wasting money by spending money on this resource when I should just be cleaning it up and saving myself some cash. And number 3 point, why it's better to have a clean email list, and you should be undertaking email cleaning every couple of times a year, I would suggest, and to clean your data, do a hygienic checkup of your data, is that quality absolutely trumps quantity when it comes to making decisions about your business on data. It's no good making decisions on your business based on data that is patchy or cluttered with people who are not interested in your stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you have a cluttered CRM with outdated profiles and redundant emails and data, then this data you pull, the reports you pull, are misleading. You need to make decisions in your business based on accurate data, not outdated data, because you don't want to make costly mistakes. So you need to clean your emails and your profiles and suppress some emails, suppress some profiles, to ensure that when you do run reports and you pull analytics and you look for insights, you're actually doing the CEO work of your business and being the driver of your bus, like the captain of your ship. You're being the driver of your steam train that is your business. You are making those decisions based off of data that is clean and accurate and not cluttered with people and profiles and email addresses that shouldn't be there, because for many reasons they shouldn't be there anymore. Are you convinced yet? Are you convinced this is a worthwhile exercise? Honestly, I think this is something you should do every 6 months. I did it in the last few months, so I've cleaned up my data not long ago. That's what prompted me to do an episode about it for you. And I hope I've convinced you why it's so important. So if you know the why now of why you should be cleaning your email list, let me tell you how to do it. This is what I have done recently. Do you know what? In the last couple of weeks, I suppressed 113 email addresses from people in the US. And you might be wondering why I would do that. Because I don't ship to the US. I can, and I have done a handful of times in the last year. I did early on in my business when I was drop shipping early, in my first 12 months of e-commerce. I shipped heaps to the US because I was drop shipping. I could, because there was a warehouse in the US. So over half my customers in my first 12 months of business were in the US, but they're not any longer because I'm focusing on Australian customers at the moment. And so I'm fulfilling all orders myself here in Adelaide. So orders leave here from Adelaide, and it's a pain in the neck, hey, to send things overseas, the customs forms and everything, and the shipping costs, which customers are happy to pay. So people can buy from me if they live in the US, and someone did last month. It does happen on the rare occasion. However, I don't want to pay for email addresses from the US because it's such a tiny percentage of my customer base. Like, it's 1% probably at most from the US. I'm not looking to grow yet in the US. So I don't want to pay for these email addresses from people that are in the US because they're not my ideal customer. I don't want to run a report in Klaviyo, like I did an episode just a couple of episodes ago about the best performing buttons. I don't want my best performing button report that tells me the best URL links in my emails and what customers are clicking on and loving to be filled with customers who are from the US, who are not even customers, they haven't purchased from me, they're on my email list. But I don't want my analytics, those reports, to be skewed by potential customers who are not my ideal customer because I'm not marketing to them at all, and they're not in Australia. So I was surprised actually to see how many email addresses I had in the US, because my Facebook and Instagram advertising excludes the US and the UK from my campaigns. But those exclusions, as we all know, with meta advertising and privacy and data and people's locations and stuff and cookies and blah, 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 is not as accurate as it used to be. So it wasn't surprising to me to see that some people in the US still find me, of course. Some find me on Google and all sorts of things. But I was surprised to see how many email addresses I actually had from people in the US. I thought that was quite a lot, 113. I don't want to pay for those. And so I suppressed them. I was surprised to see how many there were, and I suppressed them. So perhaps you find the same thing with your business. Maybe you're just in Australia. Maybe you're just in the US. Maybe you're just in New Zealand. Wherever you are, I'd encourage you to go run a bit of a segment, do a bit of a segment from your list of people who are in a particular location or proximity. I reckon that's the filter you use, and see how many you have that are from somewhere you don't want to ship to and you don't want to pay for those email addresses. And then go ahead and suppress them. So it'll improve your analytics when you pull reports based on decisions you need to make for your business. it will be cheaper for you, and it will improve your deliverability as well. The other thing I also did was I clean up emails every month from a very specific segment of people. I run a giveaway every month for both of my businesses. Both of my businesses, I run a monthly giveaway. This is a lead gen activity. It gets leads into my business by running a giveaway. Every month I clean that specific list of people. So I do a bit of a list or a segment based off of that 1 month of leads I collected, and I clean it. Because lots of people enter giveaways and they have no intention of ever buying from the brand. They just want to be in the giveaway. So I think it's important, if you're going to run any sort of giveaway, you need to clean that list. You absolutely do. You'll be surprised how many you need to suppress. It's quite a lot. But I'll give you a stat in a minute that will still encourage you that it's still worthwhile exercise doing. So when I clean up this list, I'm basically suppressing profiles for people who didn't engage at all between the specific dates. So if it's the month of July giveaway, for the whole of July, if they didn't either, let me tell you a bit more specific. So I create a segment of these people. I have a master giveaway list, a 2023 master list, where every giveaway entrant goes into that master list. Every month I run a segment from that list to pull out that month's contestants or entrants just for the 1 month. So the segment I do has got the date. So they became part of this list between the 1st and 30th of July. 31st? The 1st and 31st of July, whatever the month happens to be. That's the little segment I pull out. They also, within that segment, so they also need to have opened an email from me 0 times over all time, or viewed a product 0 times over all time. That's kind of the criteria I use. So those people then I would suppress. It means they entered the giveaway, they got my email confirmation about the giveaway, then they got the 4 emails I send when the giveaway is closed. When my giveaway is closed, I have a very specific send strategy, and they get 4 emails in the space of about a week once the giveaway is closed. So those 4 emails, this particular person, say, who entered my giveaway, didn't open the confirmation email, and they didn't open these following 4 emails. And also, let's assume they don't open the email anyway, but they see the subject line and head to Google and find my business and go look at a product. That's great. I'll be happy to keep that email address. But they also didn't view a product on my website in the same time period. So they were in the list between specific dates, but over all time of me having them as a profile, they didn't open an email at all. And they didn't, or they didn't view a product at all in the whole time I've had that email. I'm suppressing them. So that's like 4 emails, and also they never headed to the website. So that email is getting suppressed. And you know what? For July, I suppressed 137. That sounds a lot, doesn't it? It is a lot. I think it's about 55 to 60% of the entrants. So it is a lot. But let me tell you quickly, episode 39, I talk about my highest conversion rate activity, and I got a conversion rate of this activity of 14% on this one thing I did, and it's a giveaway. So 14% of people who enter my giveaway purchase, and guess what? 7% of them purchase more than once over a 6-month period. So 7% purchasing twice. Like, what sort of stat? That is crazy good for e-com. And 14% convert to a first-time buyer. That activity is really valuable to my business. I've done a giveaway every month so far this year, and I'll continue to do so. It's really worth it. So episode 39, I would encourage you to go listen to next, is all about getting yourself a 14% conversion rate on your product-based business on your website. So it's still worth me doing a giveaway, even though I'm suppressing 137 emails from last month. Even though I'm suppressing that many, this is still a worthwhile exercise for me. And I know it's worthwhile based on the reports I've pulled and the data I've pulled to find out that actually this group of people convert at 14%. That is insanely high, and that is something I'll spend money on all day long. If I was to turn off every one of my other Facebook and Instagram ads, if I decided I was broke or too stingy and I just didn't want to spend any money on Facebook and Instagram for a month, I would leave my giveaway running. I have a giveaway campaign through Facebook and Instagram that gets me leads every day, I would leave that running. I would never turn that off. That is my highest converting activity, but not on the platform. The metrics for my giveaway are not great on Facebook and Instagram. It doesn't mean lots of people convert to making purchases from this ad. Some do, mind you, but not a lot. But over time, this group of people who enter my giveaway convert at 14%. 14%. I will do that all day long. I encourage you to consider it too. So after you've listened to this episode, head straight to episode 39 and listen for yourself. But I'm still suppressing some emails. Remember, this quality of people, this quality of your list is important. We're doing some digital hygiene today, cleaning up your list. So don't worry that you have to suppress emails. You'll save yourself time. You'll be able to pull better, more accurate reports and analytics. And you will improve the emails you are already sending. If you already send emails, then this is going to improve that effort. So why wouldn't you do it? It feels a bit scary to feel like you're wasting those emails and you've deleted them and lost them. But remember, they're not deleted. They're suppressed. They're still in the back of your Klaviyo account. They're still worth something to your business. They're just not cluttering up your campaigns, and you're not sort of sending out emails to people who are never going to engage with them anyway. So is that three things? That's three things all up. I suggest you do is check out if there's a location you want to check and maybe suppress some people from a particular country in the world that you don't ship to, they're not your customers, and you don't want to be paying for those email addresses. And then do you do some other sort of cleanup with some people that haven't engaged with you in a while, haven't opened from you over a period of time, just to see how many of those people there are, and consider suppressing those. So like I said, every 6 months, you should also do a general cleanup of your whole list. So these two examples of cleaning up my giveaway and people in the US is kind of very specific data cleanup, data hygiene. But every 6 months, you should do a whole hygiene of your whole list. And this is a segment I run every 6 months to clean up my whole list to see who I should consider suppressing. And let me tell you how I stepped it out in Klaviyo. So stay with me. This is quite specific. You might want to save this episode, email it to yourself so you can take notes later on. In Klaviyo, the definition of I'm doing a segment here of people to clean out every 6 months. This is the bare minimum you should be doing for your digital hygiene. This is the definition. Someone who is in a list, they are in your main list or your newsletter list, whatever you call your main list. They're in the list before a particular date. So let's say you want to clean up your list, but you sort of think, let's just clean up all the people who joined between January and July this year, or before July this year. So I do before a specific date. So I've got here before January this year, or before July this year, they were in the list. I don't want to clean up someone who added yesterday because they just added yesterday. I haven't given them enough time to see if they're going to engage with my brand or not. So I want to pick a date that seems reasonable enough or long enough ago that I'd be happy to suppress these people. So at the moment of me recording this episode, it's the end of August. So maybe I would run this report, if I was going to do it today at the end of August, I would run this report for somebody who joined my main list before June, 2 months ago. If they joined before June, so maybe 2 months ago before I run this report. So that's your first step, is the definition. Is they're in the list before a specific date. And is your next step. And what someone has or not done, has done or not done. They've opened an email 0 times over all time, or they've clicked an email 0 times over all time, or they've been active on your site 0 times over all time, and they've placed an order 0 times over all time. So that's how I've segmented this specific segment, I should say. These are the steps I did to pull this group of people out that I want to consider suppressing. Let me run it through again. If you're familiar with Klaviyo, if you save this episode and send it to yourself, it'll make sense, obviously, when you're inside Klaviyo. Is the definition of this segment someone who is in your main list before a specific date or was added before a specific date. And someone has or has not done open an email 0 times over all time. Or what someone has or has not done, clicked an email 0 times over all times, or what someone has done or not done, active on site 0 times over all time, and what someone has done or not done, placed an order 0 times over all times. That is the segment I use when I consider who I want to suppress, and I do this twice a year. So when's the last time you did this for your business, for your email service provider? When's the last time you cleaned your list? Have you ever done it before? If you haven't, I'd encourage you to do so, and so you can stop wasting money, stop compromising your email deliverability for the emails you do send, and then you'll stop relying on incomplete data as well. Do you know what? Your metrics may well skyrocket if you do this. If you've been discouraged with email marketing in general because you send emails, nobody opens them, nobody clicks on them, who are the people anyway? Are you relying on data of people who are not even interested? Wouldn't you rather go ahead and suppress, and I'm going to be realistic here, if you've never done this, wouldn't you rather go ahead and suppress 70% or 80% of your email list, then start again almost with this tiny little group of people who are actually interested in your brand? And then the next time you send an email, guess what? I bet your analytics will be so much better. Your click-through rate and your open rate, your click-through rate, your open rate, your deliverability rate will be so much better. You'll be so encouraged that now this is a worthwhile exercise. Emailing is a worthwhile exercise. Now that you have a group of people that are the right type of people for your business. They're the right leads, they're quality leads, not just a group of email addresses that are useless and costing you money, mucking up your analytics, screwing up your deliverability, and just like not encouraging you at all and making you feel a little bit like you're failing at email marketing when in fact you may not be failing at email marketing. It's just that your list needs a little bit of a clean. So did you find this episode helpful? I'd encourage you to share it with a friend who could benefit from the topic, or email it to yourself and save it for later on so you can follow the steps through on how to do a bit of a digital hygiene checkup for your own Klaviyo list. I hope my diary style podcast is an encouragement for you as we spent this time together in sharing some real-time challenges and wins of growing a product business. Thanks for listening today. Head to my website where you can reach out for a free discovery call. So if you're looking at Facebook and Instagram advertising, if you want someone to do it for you, or you just need some strategy support so you can do it DIY, or you just need more customers to find your website and products, I can totally help you. You'll find me at aussieecommercemum.com.au. I'll see you next time. Keep learning.